This story comes from the only time I have ever raged during a D&D session. All 5 of us were there with Michael acting as the Dungeon Master. To spice things up a little bit, we decided to play in a science fiction setting. Some aspects were cool, for instance, I equipped my character with Wolverine-style claws, and other aspects were more unfortunate, like Sapphire's armour being that of the Halle Berry Catwoman outfit. I mean, the rest of us didn't mind, but still. We start off pretty quick with our spaceship landing on a new planet right next to the wreckage of what looks like a huge battleship. Wandering a short distance, we saw a large set of sliding doors at the front that wouldn't open due to a mechanical failure. Trying to think outside the box, I asked to use my claws to cut a circle through the left panel of the door and climb through to fix the mechanism from the other side. Michael said this required 2 rolls, one to cut the hole and another to go through. I created the hole fairly easily. Climbing through, however, was a challenge. I got my body partway in, but the area past my torso wouldn't budge. I rolled again to see if I could wiggle out, but my roll failed. Meanwhile, Ben takes a turn. His roll manages to open the door. But because I was stuck inside one half of the door panels, my side slammed against the edge of the door frame while Ben and Alex walked past. They just left me there so they could explore the wreckage. Me, still stuck inside the door, rolled again to wiggle free. And I failed again. This time taking damage from a jagged edge of the door I hadn't cut properly, which also tore away at some of my clothing. I think it was after the 3rd time I failed to wiggle free that Sapphire decided she might want to help me. But I'm not gonna criticize her. It's still a heck of a lot more than what Alex and Ben were doing with me. Sapphire on the outside of the ship grabbed my legs and rolled the dice. She failed as well, tearing away at some of her armor in the process. By the way, our stats for these actions weren't particularly low. I'm sure I'm right in thinking that my stat was 10, so I had a 50-50 chance of getting out there on each roll, and Sapphire had an 8 for pulling me out, making it a 2 in 5 shot for her. There was only a 5% chance that I would still be stuck in that door. Ben and Alex were still ransacking the ship, just so you know. They were finding all the cool shit to upgrade our ship while I was living La Vida Loca with my new best friend. So for the 4th time this session, I rolled to wiggle out the door. Guess what? I failed. 5th time. I failed. I rolled to get out of the door for a 6th time. I had lost maybe a quarter of my health on the jagged edge of the door and lost virtually all my clothing because it was torn to shreds within the first hour of gameplay. The dice hits the table. The number shows I failed. For the 6th time in a row. And if there's any math nerds watching this, let me tell you that combined with the failed attempt Sapphire made to pull me out, there was a 1 in 160 chance of me still being stuck in that door. Sapphire, kinda still watching me, asks if she should try to pull me out again. And this is where I started stirring. I was legit pissed right now. But what came out of my mouth was not something I expected. Now, the big reason I'm doing these stories written instead of improvised is because I'm not very good at articulating sentences on the fly, and when I'm pissed off, I don't have any control over what I say. The exact sentence I said after Sapphire offered to help me was, and I quote, "No! You are not helping me! Those guys need to do something because the image of Sapphire wearing a leather catsuit and tugging on the lower end of my naked body is not something I want shared on Facebook!" And all 4 of them lost their shit. All of them reveling in my misfortune. Sapphire laughed so hard she fell off her seat. In the end, Michael took mercy on me and let me out the door. My clothes were ruined, I was bleeding out, and a cloud of hot shame hung over my head. So now whenever I play D&D, I usually take the role of Dungeon Master. What goes around comes around, bitch!